5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, they already saw your countdown. I clicked it and then you started counting down. Sorry.
That's fine. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, hi everybody. Welcome to Quill Sword. We are back. We had a great Thanksgiving time. We were all thankful, at least I was thankful for all the many things, including the many people in my house while I cooked. We are down to Robin tonight, and sadly, Doug is out of town unexpectedly. I can speak, I just don't act like it. So, as a result, we are down 2 players at present. So we've got our core 3. It's going to be great. We've got this. These 3 are just going to have to handle stuff balanced for 5.
Famous last words.
Yes, except they're not my last words. They're yours. But anyway, we're using Syrinscape. I built a new sound set for Syrinscape, so I'm super happy using free license music. The artist name is Noonsol. I believe they're Korean. I don't know much about them. They don't require a shout out. I just think their music's super good and you should check it out. It's like Noon and then SOL. So yeah, they have a lot of good stuff. But we use Syrinscape. We like Syrinscape. Syrinscape is great, and it lets you make custom sound sets, which I didn't know, and now I know it. It's really cool. I'm not going to gush. This is not a review of Syrinscape. But we are going to dive into a recap because, you know, everybody remembers everything that happened 3 weeks ago, right? So I'm going to roll a d6 as a d3, and we'll see who it picks. Nathaniel.
Of course. So, last session began with us awakening in the inn after having had to fight another Crom spawn the night before, aka the session before. And we had the arrival of a guard that was a newcomer to the group, Hake, who was seeking us out, hoping that we might be able to offer him guidance in his investigation of the disappearing children, which is obviously something that we have an investment in and care about. Various members of the group seemed a little more okay with them. Wisp did not. And unfortunately, we didn't get too much planning done. We got as far as determining, you know what, we should look into Hake's mentor because he seems to be wrapped up in the group that might be behind this. And then some guards showed up and were not going to be friendly. So we had to flee into the sewers. And I will hand it off to MARISA.
So we flee into the sewers, and it wasn't a very good experience in that we're, 1, in the sewers, and 2, we got attacked, and I can't remember what they're called, but it is one of the more silly creatures in D&D.
Black pudding.
Black pudding, that's right. My brain was like gelatinous cube, but no, it's the black pudding.
No.
So yeah, we got attacked by a couple of those. It was a very stressful encounter, but we did eventually get away. And then the real danger was actually getting out of the sewers because both Wisp and Nim struggled. Just completely covered in poop, I assume. You know, just not a great day.
I prestidigitated all that stuff off, but yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, and I think Mask helped me with my with Nim's poop situation. So after that, though, we did get out of the sewers, and we are kind of in an area of the city unfamiliar to most of us, except for Anu. So I'm going to pass it off to SENITA.
All right. Finally above the ground and out of the doo-doo water, Anu took him to her home that she shares with fellow street rat Silas. And as Silas poorly attempted to flirt with every member in the party, we started to get a visit from the town's guards, and that's where we left off.
Yep. So it just so happens that all of you are currently in this house, and the guards are knocking on the door. Bang, bang, bang. They are demanding entry, and you see that other guards are now running from other streets and alleyways. So it's very quickly getting overwhelming. Mask and Hake exchange looks. Anu, you are aware that you have a secret escape for just such situations.
Well, guys, we could probably take a few of them, which would be fun. Or we could just sneak out the back way.
I like that idea better today. Normally I'm with you on the fun, but I'm not in the mood.
Vote for sneaking. I would like to vote for the record that fighting does not constitute fun. We do not hit our friends, and I would just like to make a quick escape and not engage in fisticuffs.
I mean, I would point out that these are not our friends, but fine. I won't get into a semantic.
That is true, but they don't have to know immediately that we're foes.
So, I need everyone to make initiative rolls for me at this time.
Did we
dare
take
you.
too long talking about it?
No, because we need to determine what order things happen in, basically. And how quickly the guards get there. Oh, the other guards rolled really well.
Nat 20.
Woo!
Woo! Get them.
Nice.
17.
17. 15. Oh, all of you guys rolled really well. Get it. Okay, so the guards rolled a 19. But, Wisp, you're going before them.
Unfortunately, I need a new to point the way out of here because I don't know the secret exit.
Okay.
So, hang on. Give me 1 second. Let me just see one thing here real quick. Nope, none of that's gonna help. No, like because I don't know where they're banging on the door, yes?
Yes.
Okay. There anything to prop against the door?
You do hear Silas is moving furniture downstairs.
Okay, he seems to be on top of it. I'm just gonna turn to a new like way out now, please.
Get away.
So... Ooh, okay. So you hear a loud crash as the door breaks off its hinges, bursting open. The guards are immediately on top of Silas. He's shouting, "There's no one else here! No one else is here!"
God.
That's not suspicious at all.
And yeah, he rolled very poorly on his deception roll. And Mask and Hake once again exchange glances. Mask looks at you guys and says, "We'll catch up with you. Go." And does this acrobatic flip, their tails of their hat following behind them as they shift into a more common-looking individual who looks like an indiscriminate gendered person wearing a thick duster and carrying a pair of those knives that Mask traditionally holds on their hat. And you see they just seamlessly transform, flip, and immediately go into combat. And Hake looks at all of you. All right, we'll hold them off. Get to the palace. The children need you. And he charges down the stairs, just barreling into one of them that started to go up. So, I need stealth rolls from everyone.
Can you please stop asking for skills and abilities that I do not have as a character?
Woo! 27.
13.
13, 27. All right. Anu, you rolled so well, in fact. You see Giselle starts charging down the stairs. As though she's going to help.
Ooh.
Are we taking her with us?
Well, you have a split moment decision. What are you doing?
I'm taking child. I don't know. What are we doing, guys? Are we taking the child with us?
She says that, and Giselle is now halfway down the stairs. But you guys now notice.
Yes!
Yes. Okay. We're taking the child.
Okay. So make an initiative roll versus Giselle. Whoever's grabbing her. She didn't roll great.
At 20.
Okay, so Anu, just as she leaps and you see fire starting to waft from her hand, you catch her and snatch her up before she can be seen. You see that Hake and Masquerade are now in full melee with the guards trying to bottleneck them at the doorway.
Okay, well, they got that. Let us bounce. Let's go, child.
Okay. So you guys make it to this secret way out. Anu, would you like to describe how your secret way out is accessed and what it looks like?
It looks just kind of like a closed off room with stone. Of course, one of the walls is able to be pushed in, but there's a code that you have to push it in. And it's just a fancy little diddle that Anu created. I'm not gonna tell you guys the secret codes, and that's what she presses in the stones in a distinct way, and the wall opens into a narrow pathway.
Okay, so you guys are now headed down this narrow pathway. Giselle starts pounding on your shoulders anew and is like, no, we go back for Masquerade.
Trust me, kid, they got this.
No! And thankfully, the guards don't hear her screaming. So you think you're in the clear as you make it into your quiet, hollow hallway. The hallway winds and gives you access to the Undercity, as well as to an easy out 2 buildings down. So, which would you like to take?
Oh, there it is. Oops, shit. Oops. There it is. Okay. What is the like least crowded way? Like, can we hear if one way is busier than another?
Well, make a perception roll. Meanwhile, Nim, you hear Giselle sobbing softly.
16.
16. Okay. So you can hear that it sounds like there is, in fact, some sort of commotion through the Undercity.
I want to reach out and just grab Giselle from Anu and hold her, and then just kind of whisper in her ear, Mask is coming, but Mask has to do something first. Mask is on their way, I promise.
Okay.
But we have to be really good and really quiet, and we have to go find the way back to the palace, because if we don't do it, then Mask can't follow us.
Okay. And you see she's still kind of got these tears running, even though she's trying to look like she's brave. So which way are you leading them, Anu? Are you going towards the action?
Oh, now I need to figure. Do I know which way is quicker to the palace, or do I know what the commotion sounds like?
The commotion sounds like many people screaming and shrieking, and you also hear what sounds like violence. Not weapon violence, mind you, like visceral violence.
I had really hoped that you had said violins there, but
No,
damn.
not so much in Wisp's purview, unfortunately. Wisp could deal with some violins.
Yeah, no, I could take that on.
All right, so we're gonna go the opposite way of the violence. Like, I'm sure we'll hear about what's going on about that later.
Okay. All right. So you guys go down this tunnel. You go underneath 2 other buildings, and you hear one of the buildings sounds like it's also being raided by guards. Like something's going on in this city at present.
This doesn't seem good. I defer to both you. This seems to be, in your wheelhouses.
Not as much as you might think. Anu, is this isn't typical for around here, I'm assuming?
No.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what would have been the better answer to that anyway, so I don't even know why I asked.
So you do come out of a manhole, and you see that it looks like this one is made to look like it goes to the sewers, but it doesn't. So you make your way out of the manhole. It is currently raining outside, and you also just feel the traces of sleet as it's getting colder.
Well, we still gonna go for the castle?
No, because we gotta drop off the child.
We need to do that, and I figure that's where Mask and the Narc are probably going to expect to find us. So
Also, we need to figure out what's going on, and that might be the only place where we have the resources to do so.
hopefully, all right. Do we have any sense of our bearings, Stephen, in terms of where the palace would be relative to us?
You do, in fact, because the palace is built into a mountain. So you can actually see it kind of above everything. It's pretty easy to navigate in this city for that reason.
Lovely.
That being said, you do hear guards and weapons clanging, and you see people being dragged out of their homes. Like the poor and the destitute are being dragged out of their homes by the guards, them shouting accusations of treason. And you also see in a back alley a man. And this man is currently being held by the lapels by a guard who straight up just lunges his sword into the man's throat. Blood spurts. And Anu and Wisp, being that you are both magical, you smell the scent of magic. And you see flickers of yellow mist swirling on the streets, and it starts swirling around the person that just dropped.
Is my ring going off?
Yes, it is. Your ring is going off like it did when you were in the wild.
How far away is this guy who just...
He's about 30 feet. You can run to him and still get in action if you want. You see that the body starts writhing and convulsing.
Looking the other way real quick, does it look anything close to clear, or do I think if we take this guy out, we'd actually have a better shot going the way he's blocking?
If you took this guy, you'd probably have a good shot of going the way he's blocking.
Okay, I'm charging him then.
Okay, roll initiative.
Are we all rolling initiative?
Yep, everybody's rolling initiative at this point.
I'm going to use my inspiration and roll that
That
again.
is fair.
19.
15.
10. That 10's still better than what I had.
You know what?
Oh, no, wait, sorry, 13, because I have plus to my initiative.
You beat the guards because they got an 11.
Yay!
All right. Nim, you're first.
All right. So what I want to do is I have Giselle in my arms and I'm kind of wrapping her up, kind of turning her away from what she might potentially see over there. And I'm just giving her a pep talk about what might potentially happen. So this is going to get a little bit dangerous, but that's okay because you're so brave and so tough and you've already fought so many times. And so here's what we're going to do. Because Wisp and Anu, because they're really strong fighters, we're going to let them go first, and then it might be our turn, okay? So we just got to get ready. Are you ready? Okay, we got to do it so then we can get back to the castle and Mask and Hake can find us, okay? All right.
Okay. And you, because you have Giselle, you get to choose what she does.
Oh, okay. So is she next?
Yeah, she goes on your turn.
Okay. So I want her to start kind of powering up. I mean, in my mind, it's a very Dragon Ball Z sort of effect when she is about to throw fire. So I just want her to kind of get ready in case she needs to.
Okay.
You know, whatever it however it looks like.
Okay.
It's very like 90s video game in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. You see that these flecks of blue fire and these tongues of blue fire just licking off of her body as her one arm just immediately combusts in a blaze of blue fire, and she is ready. She can cast either Firebolt or Fireball.
Okay.
So those are the two spells she has at present. Anu, you're up.
How far away are we from the guard?
So the guard is about, Wisp is closing the 30-foot distance. You still are 30 feet away.
Okay. Do I have dash?
Yeah, you can bonus action dash. You can also just move that 30 feet for your movement.
Oh, yeah. Time to think. Ugh. Kind of want to rush up and just be like, what is going on?
Okay, you can do that.
Alright.
So make a persuasion roll if you're just earnestly trying to figure out what's going on, or a deception roll if you're trying to distract them from Wisp.
Nah, I'm going to go with persuasion.
Okay.
9.
9. So he just sort of looks at you and he's like, the Pulverish, they've turned against the crown. You notice that his accent doesn't sound Voirasian either.
That's odd.
Mm-hmm. And that's all you can get with that. What do you want your action to be?
My action be? Let's see. I'm gonna wait.
Wait, because you're waiting, I'll give you this for free. He's wearing one of those feather rings.
Oh my god.
Wisp, you're up.
He's getting the horns.
All right.
That's how this works.
Go for it.
So
You need a 16.
That is a 17 to hit.
All right, you got him. Roll that damage.
5 bludgeoning.
5 bludgeoning damage. All right. So, describe what you do as you take this guard's health out by half in a single go.
I am. How tall is he?
He's about 6'1".
Nice. Okay, so I'm coming in low to try and connect like not quite in the gut, like a little above. I'm going for the solar plexus here, and then I'm lifting up. I'm looking to take the wind out of him and ideally slam him into the wall while I'm at it.
Okay. So you absolutely do that. He just goes, and he's now winded trying to catch his breath as you've done this. And that was a bonus action for you, right?
Let me check that. No, that's an action.
That's an action? Okay.
Charge is an action.
All right. So you got him winded, and he is now pegged against the wall. And it is his turn, but first, the corpse. You see its body begins writhing in unnatural ways, and you see arms and elbows cracking out of socket as they warp, and it actually tears the flesh away. And you see these long talons just extending out of where it once had just fingernails, and its jaw unhinges almost like a snake's as it unleashes this just almost guttural like "Aah!" And it leaps onto the guard, and it's basically standing on your shoulders right now as it tears into his face with its mouth. And you guys are now fighting one of these instead.
Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
Nim, what would you and Giselle like to do at the end of the round?
Okay. I have to go first, right? Because I would like to encourage Giselle before she does something.
You can do that.
Okay. So I want to encourage her and like kind of point her at the corpse situation because that's what it is now. And I just say, "You can do it, Giselle. So I want you to use your fire and I want you to take him out."
Okay. And she lunges, and when she does, you see this stream of blue fire tornadoing toward Wisp and the dude. And she got a 19 on the die. So it hits just the zombie, which is great, and immediately incinerates it. And you see that it almost like crumbles and dissolves to ash that's now kind of flecking with blue embers as it blows in this sleety, rainy, mucky wind.
Good job, kiddo.
And you are now once again in the alleyway alone with a clear path.
Let's go. I am drawing. I'm like anything we run into, I'm probably just going to attack on sight at this point. So I'm drawing weapons. I don't even care if it instigates problems at this point.
Okay.
And I'm taking point.
All right. Awesome. So you do that. And I need whoever is leading the charge here to make a general survival check. Not hard to do, but you're basically trying to use your street smarts to avoid the crowds of guards that are currently raiding the slums.
Okay, survival. Let's see. 17.
Nice.
17. All right. So you manage to easily avoid the guards. You do catch glimpses of them tearing parents away from children, or otherwise murdering people straight up in the street if they aren't willing to load into these carts with bars that they've just got sitting in the streetways with hordes of people overcrowded inside.
I'm trying to stay focused, trying to keep us going as directly as possible.
You make it to the secret entrance of the Voirais Palace in Dorienne. Anyone who, you don't even need to make a roll for this, you guys would know that the queen probably wouldn't stand for this. So something's up. And while you might initially think to look to find her, you see her as you approach the secret entrance. You see her in a balcony, stories above, looking out a window, just longingly, and you see she looks very disturbed, saddened, and she closes the curtains of that door.
There isn't a way up to the balcony, is there?
There is, if you can get over the wall first. It's in the distance. It's like 300, 400 feet away.
So I'm assuming going through the secret entrances is a more direct route.
Yes.
Okay, then. Yeah.
You see there is a barred grate with a lock on it.
Anu?
On it.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah. 18.
18. All right. So you easily get in here. Just to refresh your guys' memory too, because chat brought it up. Yes, technically Angelique is missing.
Yep,
So Angelique is missing in all this on top of everything. You make your way through the barred grate, and it sort of lowers you into this tunnel, which looks very familiar, very similar to the other tunnels you've already been in under this palace. And while there is just a little bit of rain trickling from outside into the grate and into the tunnel, the water seems to kind of be pooled at this slope with a drain in this tunnel. So it's kind of designed to not flood.
Gotcha.
And you now find yourselves in the corridors. So where would you like to go?
Whatever way, to the best of my ability to sort out, is going to get us on a direct path to get to the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I didn't really get to know anyone else outside of the folks in the kitchen well enough to feel like I can go to them first, and I don't think the kitchen staff is going to help us in this particular situation.
That's fair. All right. So once again, I need another survival check. This is a check-heavy session.
That's an 11.
11. Okay. So you navigate your way as best you can. It sounds eerily quiet in the palace. So at this point, Wisp, I'm going to give you a complication. So you get an inspiration and you can give one to someone.
Okay.
And you have a difficult choice you have to make.
I'm going to give the inspiration to Nim.
Yeah.
And what's the complication?
The complication is that you can either surface into the main hallways of the palace as you've dead-ended there, or you can try to backtrack and you will have a 50-50 chance of encountering something nasty.
Am I allowed to consult with the obviously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know that basically you dead-ended at this area where you managed to get to where you know the kitchen is, right?
Yeah.
Because it was familiar. So you are behind the stove. You can exit and now be in the upper palace proper, risking getting found out by guards. Or you also know that if you backtrack, it's going to be a little more difficult to find another way without attracting suspicion, as you do hear something in the distance walking down there with you.
So, all right, this is not the best position for us to be in. I didn't get us to where I wanted us to be. We can leave at the exit we're at, but that's not right next to the queen. So then we've got to get around guards. We can try and backtrack and get to a more direct exit that'll put us right near the queen. I just don't know what we're going to run into down here if we do that.
I think we should go in now because most of the guards are out in the city right now. I mean, I assume those didn't seem like the right kind of guards, but if the queen is in trouble and being held, then it looks like whoever is holding her here or has kidnapped Angelique is, they're out there doing the fighting. So we might be better going in there, and who knows what has followed us in here. I mean, at least with the guards, we can assume that they are probably not magic users, but who knows what's behind us right now.
No?
That's fair. I agree with him.
Okay, let's get out where we are.
Also, we got a fire baby. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So you guys exit and you get this doorway open. And you see that the oven actually sort of and you hear this grating coming off of it as it opens up and allows you into the kitchen, which is pristinely clean. It looks like nobody's been cooking in here all day. Giselle sort of like grabs Nim by the leg and just cuddles closer. I don't like it.
I put my hand on top of her head. I don't either, but if we're really quiet, I think we'll be able to find the queen, and then I think we'll get some answers.
Okay. Should I do fire?
Not yet, but I think we might have an opportunity for you two, so be ready.
Okay. You make your way into the hallway, the crimson carpeted hallway with these 3-story tall windows that are paned glass. You see the sleet and rain outside has just made the remnants of the hedge maze that is currently being rebuilt a little bit mucky, cold. There's a little bit gathering of slush. You hear thunder just rumbling vaguely in the distance. And I need to roll to see what happens on the table. If you run into something or someone or what goes on. You can roll a stealth roll to force me to roll twice and take the better result.
I mean, do we all roll for stealth for that?
You make a group check, or I'll take the middle of all 3 of you. It's your choice.
How do you do a group check?
Group check is everyone rolls, and then I take the middle number.
Oh.
Or if you want to just do a single group check. Sorry, that was the all 3 of you roll. The group check is where just one of you rolls with their proficiency.
Oh, I am very unproficient in stealth, so...
I mean, I think our best bet would just be to let Anu roll for the group.
Okay.
All right. 23.
23.
Correct.
Okay. So I will roll twice. It's a good thing. Okay. So the hallway is empty. And I'm just going to use that stealth check for the whole of the navigating the castle. So your first hallway is empty. You can go toward the right, which, if you remember, led you into the dungeons, or you can go to the left, which led you into the banquet hall and then gave access to more of the castle proper.
So are we going down and up or up and up?
What's the most direct route to where we saw the queen earlier?
Going left toward the banquet hall and then taking the stairways up.
Up and up.
And we're not like hearing that commotion anywhere about?
You don't hear commotion. You do hear footsteps from the left. But they're not heavy footsteps. They're not armored footsteps. And they don't even sound adult.
I say we go left.
Okay?
To the left, to the left.
So you go to the
Somebody
left.
was going to do it.
You go to the left, and you see a child wandering the banquet hall. A little boy, short-cut black hair, just very close to the head. He has this dark brown skin, and he's wearing blue robes, which Wisp, you being a bard, would readily recognize as an indicator that he belongs with the Scriptoriad.
Has he spotted us yet?
Nope, his back is turned to you right now, and he looks like he's just staring out a window, one of these tall windows that looks out into the courtyard.
Okay, good. Quietly, and from, let's say, 10 feet back from him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, are you lost?
He turns. Who are you?
Well, my name's Wisp, and we are actually, there's a lot going on, but what's your name? How'd you get here?
My name is Leo. I was
Leo.
brought here by the soldiers. And Wisp, you don't even need to make an insight roll. This kid has no emotion. He's not showing any emotion on his face. He has like nothing. It's like blank stare. It's almost like talking to a human robot.
Leo, where are the soldiers now?
They were ordered to go into the town.
Were there other children with you?
Yes.
Where are they?
The ones that were released are elsewhere in the palace. They're all abdicated too.
Abdicated?
Yes.
What does that mean?
You don't know what abdicated is. Wisp, make a Arcana roll.
19.
19. So, abdication is a ritual that mages will do to those who are a danger to themselves or others. It is sort of like a magical lobotomy. They don't have access to magic. They don't have access to their emotions. They just exist, more or less.
Would I know about this because of my previous work?
I would say yes, because you explicitly tried to protect mages and those who didn't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You know this happens not usually to children. It's very rare to happen to children unless they've killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
But it can happen to any mage given the proper ritual.
I'm just gonna cover Giselle's ears and like kind of shake a little bit.
Leo,
Yes.
were they not paying any attention to what happened to you after they did that?
No, they know. They imprisoned the dwarf because she wouldn't do it.
The dwarf? Who's the dwarf?
Anita, I think her name was.
Where's she?
Probably wherever they keep the prisoners. Wherever they have the other children who haven't been abdicated.
Thank you, Leo. Do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay here?
What do you want me to do?
I'd like you to come with us, please.
I will come with you.
Thank you.
I hold out my hand so that I can kind of hold his hand and walk him through.
You guys can tell that this kid has no will of his own. He will do whatever you tell him to do. If you told him to put himself in harm's way, he would do it. Anu, you would recognize the name Anita as a dwarf. She was the one that gave you your magic.
Oh. Okay.
Do we all want to go and see the queen right now, or does someone want to go to the dungeons, or do we? What order do we want to do this in right now?
I think we need more information before we storm the dungeons, just because if what I think is happening, we need to be ready, and especially we need to be able to protect Giselle. And I think if we do speak with the queen, we'll at least get some answers. I can't imagine that the queen is letting this happen, but maybe she can give us information that can help us, because I worry if we go down there now, we might not be useful for very much longer.
All right. And I don't even really engage with the other two of them right now. I am straight shotting it as best as I know how to where I expect the queen to be.
Okay. Everybody's good, right? I just want to make sure, because that's just really dark material. Really dark material, so I want to check in. All right. So you guys are making your way through the banquet hall. Leo's in tow, and you see Giselle actually pulls away from you, Nim, and sort of like makes a point to walk at his pace and just offers to hold his hand and sometimes takes his hand and just kind of leads him as they go. So, and she kind of looks up at you questioningly at times. Like, she doesn't really get what's happened or what's going on. She just knows that he needs a friend.
I just nod and smile at her every time she looks.
And you guys make your way up the stairs. Wisp, your hollow clicking hooves make this hallway just feel that much more empty. It's really like it's just you here. At the top of the stairs, you see two branching paths. One of them leads around, and Anu, you would remember this is where you rode on the chandelier that is now hung once again. And off to the other way leads deeper into the palace and toward the queen. You see another child standing at the end of the hallway that doesn't lead toward the queen. This time a little girl. She has long, red, curly hair. Lots of freckles. And she's also just staring blankly.
All right. Well, the queen is that way, or do we want to adopt another orphan at the time being?
I don't want to...
Oh, go ahead.
Were you already on your way to gather?
Yeah, I just ignore whatever Anu said, and I walk over to the little redhead and say, all right, sweetheart, what's your name?
My name is Gentine.
Gentine, that's so pretty. Would you like to come hang out with me and my friends over here?
Yes, if you want me to.
Absolutely. And I just kind of lead her over to Giselle's other hand.
Giselle takes her other hand, just like the good big sister that she is. And you notice that these kids are just about the same age as Giselle, maybe a little younger. So they're like real young. And you would know, Wisp, nobody ever abdicates kids this young unless they've killed someone. Like, something's up.
To the queen.
All right.
At this point, I'm not even... At this point, I'm just counting on them to gather kids as they turn up.
Okay.
If I see any other kids, I'm not stopping right now.
All right. You do collect 2 more kids, and that's the only people you encounter in the entire palace. As you find your way toward what you would guess is the door where the queen was.
Is it locked?
You do see that the door seems to be locked from the inside.
How sturdy is this door?
It's about as sturdy as other doors. It's well made, so it's a little more difficult to break down than, say, something you would find in the slums or your standard door, but it's not so thick that it's, like, impossible.
Anu, please.
$18.
18. All right. So, you easily unlock this door. These doors aren't made to be fortified as such. They're just better locks than normal. So you easily click the lock open, and you find an empty bedroom, an empty bedchamber. It is opulent, and it is about the size of half of the banquet hall in itself in its own right. You see those same familiar windows with curtains that lead out to the balcony. You see an opulent bed with curtains drawn. You see a writing desk with a leather upholstered chair, fur lined on the top and where the head would rest. You see a huge hearth with a portrait of the queen over it, and she's standing next to Angelique, so it must have been fairly recently commissioned. There are bookshelves everywhere, and there are separate rooms branching off of this main bed chamber, one of which looks to be a walk-in closet.
I'm just going to call out, Your Majesty,
No one answers.
we need to talk.
No one answers, nothing stirs.
Looking at the hearth and the bookshelf, does it bear any of the... Because we had found secret passages before in this very palace.
Mhm.
Is there anything that looks similar to what we knew were triggers for those in the other places?
Make an investigation roll.
19.
You do. These statues, the statuary that decorates the corners of the hearth, are built into the mantle, which you would know as a telltale sign they have some sort of trigger or switch, probably. You do also see that it looks like the writing desk was freshly used, with ink still wet, written in an open book. And there is another statue on the desk that is also built into the desk.
I'm going to handle the statue, see if I can find a trigger or anything on
You
it, any
can't
part of
lift
it that
it.
moves. I can't lift it.
Yes.
Does it rotate?
It does rotate. And when you rotate it, the bed starts to pull into the wall and it folds up. And you see the curtains and everything just sort of collapse. And you see a stairway leading down.
Okay. You said there was a book that was written into. What does that look like? A diary?
It actually says, if you're reading this, is where it starts.
I'm not stopping to read it, but I'm grabbing it and
Okay.
going down the stairs.
All right. So you run down the stairs. Now you know that that one on the desk was one of 3 triggers that you found.
Yes.
Okay. So you
Okay.
run down the stairs, and it spirals all the way down the tower into what you would recognize being under the palace proper, back into those tunnels. And you would
Yeah.
suspect, based on your knowledge of architecture and everything, the 3 of you could piece together you're probably just under the dungeon.
And no sign of someone having come through this way recently, or...
Not particularly. You do recognize that if you took a couple of right turns, it seems you would end up near that lab that you found before, where you found that necromancer. But there is a left way as well.
You two don't have to follow me if you don't want to. I'm going to the lab.
They give me the book. Let me read it.
I toss it at her. I don't like throw it, not overhand it, but very dismissively toss it.
Okay.
And I'm going to the lab.
All right. You can make your way to the lab easily, and all of the ways are still open. You see that the blood splatters in that first room have been cleaned. So someone's been down here.
Mm-hmm.
You see new books open on the table. And the doorway to the next area is closed off currently.
Is
so
it
you're
locked?
in that library beforehand.
Yeah,
You remember how to open it actually with the lever.
that's right. Yes.
So you pull the lever, portcullis raises, and you can easily make your way in. In the lab, you find that yellow stone is pulsing, and it's now giving off this sickly yellow mist. The entire room here is bathed in yellow light. While none of the tables appear to be used, this chamber is active with magic. You can smell it on the air, and it reeks like it's rotten.
And nobody's in here.
No one that you can see at present. However, there are the cages off to the way that you guys rescued the queen from previously. And there is another branching path to the right. Down those stairs.
I'm going to roll with this because I have an instinct that I want to do this. I want to sacred flame that stone.
Okay. You sacred flame the stone, and you feel this inner spirit that isn't quite yours well up within you as you do it. The chromatic flames twisting around the rock, and very briefly that stone turns blue, which you would know as the normal color of mana, before the yellow starts seeping over it again.
I'm going to check the cages.
Okay. You approach the cages and you do see a figure inside, sleeping. Wearing a very fine yellow gown and looking tattered, worn for her wear, but with only a bruise and a cut on her forehead, is Angelique.
I'm going to tap on the bars.
And she stirs. Who? You?
Yeah.
Wisp! Wisp! And she clambers to her feet and runs to the bars. You see she stumbles from weakness, but she grabs onto the bars for support. Where's Masquerade?
Mask is... There's a lot going on right now. Mask is taking care of something else. Why are you in here? What is going on?
They've taken the children. I found them. Where is Hake? I sent Hake to find you.
He did find us. He's with Mask. Who put you in here?
Sean. The Queen's bodyguard. He's betrayed everyone.
Where's the Queen?
I don't know. I confronted him. I found that he was behind. There was a slavers network, and it was ruined and exploded, but they were still working out of it, taking children from the scriptoriad. I confronted him about it. And this. I tried to escape, but words are no good to deaf ears that don't listen. And he's not deaf, by the way. It's a ploy. As is everything else here, it seems.
Stephen, doing a quick look around the room, I don't suppose there are keys to this cell just sitting about anywhere.
There are, on a hook.
Great. Grabbing them, letting her out.
Easy to do. So you open the doorway, and she sort of stumbles onto your shoulders and uses you for support.
How rough a shape does she look like she's in right now?
She looks like she hasn't drank in a while or eaten, so she's very weak that way.
Okay.
But she does look alive. She's mostly unharmed and just weak.
Okay, so what... Quick assessment would be what she really needs is rest.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to shoulder her to the best of my ability and head back to the bedroom.
Okay. So as you're shouldering her back to the bedroom, she begins talking to you. They're taking the children's connection to the wild. It's making them abdicated.
What are they doing with it? Why?
Sean claims he's saving the world or something.
Of course he does. Of course he is. Aren't they all?
He said that he needs to imprison Crom. He said that you were part of it somehow, and he received word. He said you had a phoenix spirit inside you.
Yeah.
Something about keeping them locked away and in people.
Yeah, I don't know everything that's going on with that, but yeah. Yes. Yes, there's something in me now that is connected to this. And I hope it might be able to help us fight back.
I'm so sorry.
So am I.
And meanwhile, Anu and Nim, and Angelique by extension, what are you doing? Did you follow Wisp, or are you examining the room in other capacities?
I was reading the diary to get some information.
And I'm just staying close by. I assume I still have the group of children.
You have a whole gaggle of children at present. and Giselle seems to be trying to get them all to interact with her, and they really only tell her what she wants to hear. And she doesn't like it, and you can tell she doesn't like it. And she starts experimenting by saying mean things, and then kind of like cringing when she says them, but then looking at their response and kind of looking to you perplexed, Nim.
All right. I kind of lean down and pat her on the shoulder, and I just say, our friends aren't feeling very well right now, so they just need our compassion, and we're gonna figure out what's wrong with them. That's what Wisp is doing right now, and once we figure it out, we're gonna see if we can make them better.
Yeah. So, Anu, you're examining this book, right? You see that it starts out by saying, if you're reading this, I'm probably dead. I wanted so badly to bridge the gap between mages and those of us without, but it seems that there are those who would refute it and refuse it. It seems that now things have gone on too long and too far, and now we are but awaiting the end. I'm told that even if I escape, my people here will die. I'm told that someone is trying to bring about the World Eater, Crom. They've succeeded up to this point, and only my trusted companion Sean remains by my side. Angelique abducted by the impoverished who think that somehow she's responsible for what's going on. If you're reading this, I'm probably dead. But please don't forget what I tried to do. Magic is a tool. It is not a morality. And those with it can choose to use it for good or evil. But please do not hate them for who they are, for what they wield. And it looks like that last little bit of wield is kind of like scrawled, like someone pulled her away and the ink ran a little bit.
Can I check to see if there's an ink trail?
If there's an ink trail, you certainly can. Make an investigation roll. 14. It looks like there is just a couple droplets of ink, and some of it is half enclosed, like half cut off by this bookshelf that's right next to the hearth.
I'm gonna toggle the statue.
Okay, you toggle the statue, and the bookshelf begins rising up. You hear these cranks and gears grinding behind the wall. And there is a tunnel, and you see more ink droplets. Not a long trail, but just a little bit.
All right. This is where we need to go. Wisp needs to get back here.
And just as you're saying that, Wisp, you hear Anu say, Wisp needs to get back here, as you're carrying Angelique up these stairs.
You You called?
Oh dear. Oh, Angelique, you look great. No, but I mean, better perhaps than what you were when you were found, I assume.
Only thanks to Wisp.
I pull out a flask and a pastry.
She eats it like it's almost a little triggering to you, having grown up on the streets yourself, and you know that look. The look of someone who hasn't eaten in days and is presented a small, meager morsel. She devours it ravenously.
Right. I get it, but we have plenty more where that came from. Don't hurt yourself.
We have to save the queen.
We have a lot of things we have to do.
Are we in her chamber?
She still doesn't know. Right. Yeah.
Yes, we're in her chambers, Angelique. It's a little opulent for my taste, but I could make it work.
Where is she?
I don't know.
My guess is this way. And I point to the bookshelf, open it.
Who are all these children?
Well, that's a great question. They're our friends now, and we're going to be bringing them with us until we can figure out how to make them better. And I will gladly talk with you more on that when there aren't little ears listening.
Oh. Is that Giselle?
It is!
She and Ben disappeared.
Yeah. There was a whole other thing, and there was a city, and there were angry lions and eyeball moss, and look, there's been it's a lot. There's been a lot.
We have had a trip.
I see.
Not a fun one.
Well, what do we do? Where do we go from here? I don't know if I can go with you.
Oh, okay. Do you want to stay in here?
I cannot stay anywhere where Sean is. If he
Okay.
finds me, or finds me missing.
For right now, you need to come with us, because there's nowhere for us to safely leave you.
All right, I'll try. I will try. I want to find Masquerade.
Yeah, we do too. Steven?
Uh-huh.
I offer her my dagger.
Okay, she will take it. I know how to use one of these.
I know you do.
Well, I suppose we should press on then.
We will. And if we're very lucky, you'll be able to give that back to me without it ever having been used.
Agreed. And she sort of looks around and then looks at you guys. What if I hide? Somewhere safe. With the children.
Where is safe?
Wisp, make an insight, investigation, or history check.
Let's see. 19.
19. You could surmise, given the impeccable condition, the kitchen was not touched. No fingerprints, no signs of cooking anytime recently. The kitchen is probably one of the safest places right now.
All right. Angelique, do you know how to get to the kitchen from here?
Of course. I would sneak in and take tarts occasionally when they were fresh.
Girl after my own heart. Okay, look, that's where we came in. So, there was no sign of anything in there. More to the point, it looked like it had been cleaned and nobody had even been cooking for who knows how long. It looks like whatever is going on here, nobody has any interest in that room.
All right. I will take the children there. Do you want me to take Giselle too?
I would ask Giselle where she wants to go.
Okay. Giselle would like to stay with her new friends to protect them.
That's very brave, Giselle. Thank you so much. And maybe when you're in the kitchen area, you can, find some snacks for everybody.
Yeah, like cake.
Absolutely. And make sure Angelique gets 2 pieces, okay?
Uh-huh. And chocolate cake for Anu, because we like chocolate because we know it's good.
Correct.
All right. Move there as quickly and as quietly as you can. Go directly and stay there once you're there. Okay?
All right. We will do this.
Okay.
So, one of you can make a stealth roll for her.
I was gonna say, I think we know who's gonna do that.
I'm going to use an inspiration.
Oh no!
There we go. 16.
16. All right. You peer out the doorway and see them down the hall, and they make themselves as quiet as you could possibly imagine. So it seems like they'll make it there. Perhaps to rendezvous, we'll see.
Yeah. That roll was disrespectful because it was on its side. It was like nat 20 and then 8. And I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna take the lower number?
Yep. I feel that.
All right.
So
you said we had a trail.
you have a trail.
Have a trail.
Mind if I lead?
By all means.
I'm heading.
Okay. Wisp, you head down this tunnel, and it winds and it curves, but it only has one path, and there's not really anything branching, which is a bit strange. But you're once again find yourself sort of going down until you're once again even lower than that lab was. Anu, you recognize this area as you guys come into this room with a central enormous monocrystal embedded in the floor. This one also yellow and seeping mist. Anu, last time you saw this, it was blue and healthy.
This is the room where they gave me my magic?
It's the room outside the room where they gave you your magic.
That's not what that's supposed to look like.
And there's nobody else here, just the sickly monocrystal.
Correct.
Are there any ways out of here?
So, there are many branching ways.
Oh.
However, Anu knows which way to get to the room where she's been in before. It's basically like a central circular hub with branching pathways, sort of like a spider web.
I'm gonna head towards the room that I received my magic in.
Okay.
I will follow.
As you go that direction, you see that the mist permeates into this room. You smell not just the metallic scent of magic, but you smell copper. And when you get to the chair where you were strapped in to be given your magical tattoos anew, you see there is blood just all over. Dried, but there. You see a set of tools that looks not dissimilar from what Anita used on you, but also not entirely the same.
I don't like the looks of this.
What is this place? And why do you know it?
It's a tattoo parlor.
Cute.
It's where I received my magic. But this wasn't how I received my magic. If anything, it looks like someone's losing their magic. There's something else. I don't know how long. I wonder if I could tell how long. Do I know anything about how dried blood?
So make an investigation or arcana check, your choice.
You arcana. 10.
10. You don't know much about the rite of abdication, but you do see that there are what look like tubes of some sort of alchemical potion hooked into sections of this chair, basically, and you see needles poking up through it that weren't there before. It's almost like someone's rigged this to take something from people.
Yeah.
And
you see these?
the tubes travel into another room.
Yeah, this is definitely for taking instead of giving now. I start to follow the tubes.
Okay. You follow the
Ditto.
tubes into the next room, and here you see like these columnar glass tubes that are ebbing with this sickly yellow potion that's effervescent and kind of glittery. You would recognize there are pieces of this yellow monostone inside each of them, and it's just a rounded room walled with these contraptions, each of the tubes going into a different one. And you see a runic circle in the middle of it all. And you hear a voice. Well, it seems as though you have found my little secret.
Can I see where the voice is coming from?
It's coming from the other side of the room where there is a doorway, and standing in the doorway is an armored man with no hair, who you've previously only seen signing to the Queen.
How far away?
He is about 30 feet away from you, so you could cross the room and deck him if you want.
I'm debating.
He's armed and armored, and he looks at you and says, "You know, it might look bad, but I'm saving the world here."
I'm sacred flaming his bald fucking head.
All right, so he needs to make a dex save, correct? And you
Yep.
get a surprise round off on him. So we are going to do some combat music. Oh, he got a 19 on the die.
God damn it.
But
yeah, that'll...
I think he has disadvantage because he wears plate armor.
Ooh.
So that is a 16 on the die, plus 2.
Still miss.
Miss. Okay. So you sacred flame him. He dodges out of the way, and he looks at you almost offended. Don't you understand? Sacrifices must be made to prevent Crom from coming into the real world, the material world. Do you even know what Crom
already
is?
been here, you fucking moron.
You guys always say sacrifices must be made, but you never sacrifice yourselves.
That is where you are wrong. And he sort of straightens. I have sacrificed everything. And he starts walking towards you. I vowed to protect the crown. I vowed to protect this city, to protect this world. And I have given everything, my morals, my stances, my standards, who I am. I have broken every taboo that I held. Because I know the only way to bleed this off, to prevent it from happening, is to steal his power.
The
power
really
of those
sad
who fear
thing
him.
is that you think doing everything you know to be wrong makes you special.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of excuses for I don't want to look for another way.
I knew he's within 10 feet of you as he continues walking. You don't understand. I am willing to do whatever it takes to protect everyone in this city. All of my people. They don't include a filthy little elf. And I need you to make a contested athletics or acrobatics check. Your choice.
Hey, Lord. 13.
13. He got a 21. He grabs you by the throat and lifts you. You guys see this, and Anu, you are now suffocating as if the rules for underwater breathing.
How far away?
He's
am I
about
from
15 feet away from you.
Can I charge him, aiming for the arm that
Absolutely.
either the arm or the shoulder that has a nuke?
Absolutely.
So is that just a roll to attack?
Yep, just a roll to attack because he is not moving. He's only getting his armor bonus right now.
18.
18. 18 is exactly what you need to hit him. So
Okay. So
he loses hold on Anu.
Do I roll for damage?
Yes, you roll for damage.
8 bludgeoning.
8. 8 bludgeoning. All right, so he takes 8 bludgeoning damage. And you see that barely phases him as you ram him, and he manages, he loses hold of Anu and sort of like rights himself, but he doesn't look particularly scathed by that. And it looks like his armor even absorbed some of the blow.
Of course it did.
Because he's a heavy armor master. So it is now initiative, officially.
Okay. 21.
21.
Oh, you bitch!
Oh, he rolled badly.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, 15.
He didn't roll as badly as Anu.
Do you not have any bonus to your initiative?
I have 2.
Oh, you tied. And he has the same bonus as you, so I'm going to have you roll against me again.
All right. Nine.
9. Okay, he got a 12, so he will be going just before you. And Anu. All right, and you guys are now going to be in combat. We are starting with Wisp.
All right. So bashing into this armor is probably not going to be the most effective thing I can do. I want to physically back away from it because right now I'm too close for comfort, and then I want to try and sacred flame his head again.
Are you disengaging?
No.
All right. Well, then
Okay,
he's
so-
going to get an attack of opportunity on you.
All right.
That is a 19 versus your armor class.
That hits.
Okay. So he takes this long sword, and it does 4 plus 5, so 9 damage.
Okay.
As he just slices and he catches your arm and leaves a gash in your arm. It is your offhand, but it hurts.
All right. Still need him to give me a dex save on the sacred flame.
Dexterity saving throw. That is a total of 6.
He does not get out of the way of this one.
Okay. Roll that damage.
10 radiant damage to his unarmored head.
All right, so you extend your hand, and this coalescing opalescent rainbow fire descends on his head, and you hear this ah, and it explodes on him, and he is looking a little rough, but not too bad. He's not bloodied yet. Nim, you're up.
All right. I pull out my dagger because it's about all I can do in this situation. I don't have a flame baby to use.
She was kind of your personal flamethrower, wasn't she?
Right? Like, I know she's a child, but also a weapon. So I want to charge and try to stab him in kind of like the chin neck region. Any place I see that's exposed, I just want to see if I can get in one.
Okay.
Can I have a question about repartee and how I use that?
Yes.
Can I add that immediately, or how does that work?
You use that, you just add it whenever you hit.
Oh,
You
okay.
just do it when you hit.
So is that on like my D20 roll? Or is that
so you
added
want
to
to
the
hit with your
dice?
D20, and then you say you're doing it.
Okay.
And then you get it.
Okay, so I'm using it.
Okay.
14?
14 does not hit.
Yeah.
So you lunge for him, and you catch this neck guard that is just a little bit angled so that if you're shorter than him, you're going to have a hard time reaching his neck. And it is his turn, and he does not like what you just did, and you happen to be in melee with him. So, oh my gosh, I'm not even kidding. I got a nat 20.
Oh God.
Can you see it?
It's been fun, gang. I hope you're ready for a new character to join the game. Here we go. Let's do it.
That is a total of 12 plus 5, 17 slashing damage.
Okay.
As you guys watch as he just cuts at Nim, and this, you hear a crunch from her bone as blood splatters, and he's actually carved this long sword about halfway into her arm. And he removes it. And he gets a second attack.
Ah!
That is a 19 versus your armor class.
Absolutely. You don't even have to ask. You know that. I have a cinnamon roll.
Another 9 damage.
Okay, so I only had 5 hit points left, and then you said 9 damage. Okay, that's where we're at. So -4.
So you see him cut across her chest. Blood splatters out, and Nim falls. Anu, you're up.
So I have Firebolt, which am I allowed to like kind of put that magic into one of my crossbow bolts, or do I just hit Firebolt?
You can just hit Firebolt. You just do Firebolt is what you do. It's either Firebolt or a crossbow bolt. However, if you take your bonus action to aim and ranged attacks, you can get your sneak attack, and I would allow that to continue to cantrips too.
Okay. So wait. Bonus action. Okay. I'll do that and aim. I'll aim my firebolt. So if I have aim, then
you just take aim. That's your bonus action.
Oh, okay. I'll take aim then.
All right. And then make your attack roll, and it gives you advantage.
All right. $24.
24. That absolutely hits. Roll your damage.
Right.
And you do add sneak attack with that as well. So it's your 2d10 plus your, I think it's
3d6. Oh, yep.
Let me double check.
Yeah, it is. So 25.
25 damage. He is bloodied. Describe what happens as you bloody this man.
I'm gonna take aim straight at his eye. Just angrily, just even with tears in my eyes, I'm just like, you done fucked up. And just pull the trigger.
Okay. And this, you said it's blue fire, right?
Yes.
This blue fire streaks toward him, and you see it, and it actually melts part of his armor, and you see he's singed underneath. And we're back up to Wisp.
All right, so two things. I think I know the answer to this, but I want to double check. So with Nim down, will just any amount of healing just get her back up on her feet? Or?
Yes, it will. Also, you do see that the circle in the middle of the room, the rune circle, as soon as her blood hits it, it begins pulsing. And at the top of the round, he shouts, "It's happening. Soon everyone in this palace will be the blood sacrifice necessary
You're going to be a
to
blood
do this
sacrifice.
ritual."
Shut up. All right, so bonus action, I'm going to healing word Nim.
Okay.
Very much.
And I'm going to do it at 3rd level.
Okay.
So hang on, I gotta get more dice.
More dice.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So that is not as much as I would have liked. That is 9 points of healing.
9 healing, Nim.
So does that take me up from 0?
Yes, it takes you up from
Okay.
0, so you have 9 now.
Perfect.
And that was my bonus action. So as my main action, I am sacred flaming his head again.
Absolutely. I'm going to have him make a dex save. He's not great at those. Natural 1. Now, you know how we treat natural 1s on saving throws here.
What's this,
Automatic
bitch?
failure and works like a crit. So, you automatically deal your max sacred flame damage and roll it again.
So max damage on the sacred flame would be 16.
All right.
And so then I also roll for damage.
Yep, you also roll both d8s. And add it to 16.
That's another 8, so that is 24 radiant damage to his head.
Describe his gruesome demise.
I want it coming down. It'll start above his head as sort of the normal, almost sort of liquid fire. But as it falls, it is going to narrow, almost like to the point of a spear. And it is going to drill directly down in his head as if it has been like tapped out of a tree, just poured straight through and bore down to the ground. It passes through him completely and burns the floor.
All right. And he falls to his knees. And just with the last bits of life as it's leaving him, he coughs up some blood and chuckles. "You'll never find the queen now. The blood sacrifice." And he falls forward, and you see that the blood pooling is being sucked up by this rune, and it starts pulsing more and more. And Wisp, you being especially magical, would realize this ritual is now already in play, and it is about to explode on all of you.
Everybody out right now.
So, are you guys running out?
I
Get up.
am.
And I am hobbling. I'm already a very clumsy runner, so it's just like clomp, 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 clomp.
All right. So, this runic circle just explodes with a column of light, breaking through the floor that is the ceiling, and breaking through the ceilings up above all the way to the sky. You see
Sky
this
lasers. God
ring
damn it.
of energy start forming within it over the palace. And you see that the column is expanding toward you. So now you have to try to escape the tunnels and the palace, or you all will die. So, do you want to be part of the blood sacrifice or not? That's the question, I guess. I'm presuming none of you want
No.
to.
No.
So,
Fuck that guy. No.
I either need a group initiative roll or I need a single initiative roll. However, you must alternate each round. And depending on the choices you make, it's going to affect if you have advantage or disadvantage. So as a group, are you rolling a single roll or a group check?
Who has a really high initiative modifier?
I have +3.
I have +2.
I have 0.
Okay.
So, like, I could take it, but that's gonna bite us in the ass later when one of the other one of you two has to do it. Or we could just take our shot on the group roll.
You want to do a group roll?
Yeah.
All right. Group roll it is. So everyone make a roll.
20.
20.
12.
12.
11.
11. So 12 is your median. You guys managed to make it out of the radius of the column for the time being. As it's expanding, you now must choose. Do you want to look for the queen and take disadvantage on the next initiative roll? Or do you want to abandon the queen, leaving her to die here, and continue on?
Shit.
The queen already thinks she's dead. We could rescue her, but she knew this was coming.
She did, but aren't we her personal guard? I mean, so
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
All due respect to Her Royal Highness, I am more concerned about the kids than I am about her.
Okay. So are you guys abandoning the queen? Is that what I'm understanding?
Unless somebody wants to break off and try and get her.
It's up to you.
yeah, I think Nim would go for the kids more than she would the queen at this point.
Okay.
Hang on, give me a second.
I don't like it when Steven smiles. I'm trying to read his face right now, and it's stressing me out.
This is dark fantasy. You have choices to make. Consequences.
Steven,
Quit smiling
question.
at consequences.
Question.
Yes.
If one of us were to break off and go for the queen, would only that person be the one to have disadvantage at getting away from this thing on future?
Yes.
And would it only be for the next check, or would it be for every subsequent?
If someone breaks off, they have 2 rounds of disadvantage.
Nim definitely has to go for the children.
Just to put the bug in your ear then, you can also choose right now to try to save the other children that haven't been abdicated yet, that are still locked up somewhere.
Honestly,
God damn it, Steven.
So you can have 2 people split off, and they'll take disadvantage for 2 rounds, and you'll have a chance of saving both. You can choose one, or you can do nothing and let everyone be consumed.
I think we should all go our separate ways. One of us looks for the queen, one of us gets the children, and then the other ones get the locked up children. Other locked up children.
Nim needs to go to the kitchen because she doesn't have any bonus on her initiative, so she can't take the disadvantage. Anu, who do you want to get?
I'm gonna go for the locked up people.
Great, fine. I'll get the queen.
Okay. So, depending on
snacks
how
for
well
everyone.
you do, you can mitigate the disadvantage by 1 round. Each of you make an investigation or perception check, your choice. You can also go with survival.
Let's see. I'm going to do.
I'm not great at any of those.
Can I use my inspiration?
You can give your inspiration to others, and you can encourage one of them before you leave.
I need encouragement. I'm out of inspiration.
I'm encouraging Anu.
Okay.
Okay. And you said a perception, right?
Perception is an option, yes.
Okay.
I got a 10.
A 10.
I got a 16.
16.
Well, and then her encouragement does what?
Adds her charisma.
Yeah, so that's a +3.
19.
19. Okay. Wisp, you do find the queen. She is currently sitting in a room that is locked. When she sees you, what are you doing here? You should not be here. Harm is going to be brought on by the people of the slums any moment. The mages have a hideout there.
Your Highness, right now, none of us need to be here, and you need to come with me right now.
Very well. I trust you. And she goes with you. You do have your disadvantage because you didn't make high enough, but you did find the queen. Anu, you made high enough to mitigate 1 round of disadvantage, and you find a section where there is an old dungeon, and there's about 3 cells full of children, not just from the scriptoriad, and not just all children. There are adults here too. Many people with magic.
I don't know what you're standing around for, but you need to break yourselves out and come with me.
How? We don't have lockpicks. We don't have a key.
Is there any keys around?
There are keys.
I'm throwing them into the cages.
Okay, so you throw them in and they free themselves and they are following you. So at this point, everyone make your initiative rolls. Wisp, you have disadvantage. Anu, you have disadvantage.
So I have 1 inspiration left. Can that be used to negate the disadvantage?
Yes, it can.
Okay, let me see if I need... Do I need to decide that before I roll, or can I do it after I do that?
I will let you do it after you roll.
Thank you. And I need to do it.
Okay.
So that's an 18.
18. All right.
And that's my last inspiration.
All right.
I don't have any inspiration.
Actually, it might not be. They roll over from session to session.
They do roll over from session to session.
That is not my last one.
Okay.
That's just my last one from this session.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we played that
I
they
don't even
roll
know how
over
to-
from session to session.
Oh, and I didn't use mine.
Oh, you should have at least 1 Anu. So we'll say you have
Okay.
2.
All right. All right, roll. See if I need to. Yes, I'll need to use it. And a 14.
14. All right. You succeed. Everyone catches up with where they were before they went branching off. And Nim, you are ahead, headed toward the kitchen. And now you are faced with another decision as you feel that the magic is quaking everything and the tunnels are starting to collapse. Anu, Wisp, and Nim all have to make a decision. Are you going to brave the collapsing tunnels and not take disadvantage on your initiative roll? Or are you going to try to find a roundabout way, taking disadvantage but ensuring you don't risk any damage from the falling walls?
I think we should avoid the tunnels because we have so many people with us now.
Well, you are all separate still. They haven't
I was
collapsed.
going to
that's
say,
right.
this is
Yeah, we're not
individual
back.
calls.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
How mobile is the queen? She's not running in heels, is she?
She is not running in heels. She is not that dumb. No. In fact, she was starting to get them, and then I imagine you probably gave her a look that was like, nope.
Okay. I would probably take her through the tunnels.
Okay. The crumbling tunnels?
Yeah.
All right. What about Anu?
Let's see. If I go through the tunnels, I don't have disadvantage, but I also have a bunch of clumsy ass adults.
Who all have
Children
1
for
hit
me.
point.
Yeah, and children. So I'm gonna take the disadvantage.
Okay. And Nim, what are you doing for yourself?
I'm gonna take the disadvantage as well and just try to get them out of the palace because I don't want to take kids through the
Okay.
tunnels.
So everyone make your rolls. You know if you have disadvantage or not. And for you, it's... Oh! I got a 7 versus your guys' armor class. It doesn't hit either of you. So you are dancing and dodging beautifully with the queen.
And And that's an 18 on the initiative roll.
Oh yeah, you are using all of your dancing knowledge to full effect, partnering with the queen, spinning her, twirling her, and tossing her at times through this extremely dangerous area. Anu, what did you get?
I have that. This is that the inspiration I used last time. That was my last one, or
you have one more.
I have one more. I'm going to use my inspiration, and I got a 15. 15.
Okay, so you also make it through, and you are not scathed, and neither is anyone that is with you. Nim, what did you get?
I got a 4.
A 4. Nim.
Don't you have inspiration? You have an inspiration left.
But the inspiration only negated, or does it allow her a reroll?
It does allow her a reroll if she wants advantage. She can get advantage on the roll.
Let's do that then.
All right.
12.
You start to stumble, and you briefly see this flash before your eyes, like, oh no, this is a critical moment. Shit, I can't falter. The kids need me. And when that thought hits you, you catch your footing, only briefly stumbling, and continue running toward the kitchen, making it to the kitchen. And because all of you succeeded on all of your checks, everyone makes it to the kitchen. And now it's once again a choice of group checks or the median. All right? So you have everyone that you knew was in the palace. It seems that everyone else has been cleared out, and the column is continuing to build and rise. You can choose to take the shortcut, risking the crumbling tunnels once again, unless you take disadvantage. Or you can go out the front, which will risk you getting caught.
We have mages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just need to get out of here.
Yeah, we're going to go the front way.
The front way?
Yes.
So you're going to risk getting caught?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you guys make your way through the front of the palace as this column continues to rise. With horror, Nim, you see the icon of the country you grew up in being consumed by radiant yellow magic. Flecks of red and blood just tornadoing around as you realize there were other people in here, though no one that you knew. But there are people who died here as part of this ritual. And you see this once again steadily growing ring above in the sky, just widening. And I'm going to now make a roll and see if they perceive you guys. I need a stealth roll. Group or singular, your choice.
Anu, please just take it.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Oh.
$15.
They got a 13.
Yes.
You make it past the remaining guards who have stopped and begun staring in horror as they see their home crumbling into the air, being consumed by whatever this ring now forming over the palace is. And it takes several minutes. You're winded, you're beaten, you're bruised, some of you are bloodied. Nim, you still have a throbbing arm where you took that injury and your chest hurts. It hurts to breathe. But you make it back to the pumpkin carriage. The point you hope Masquerade and Hake find you. The point you hope that your group can come back together. But as said by the chat, just this once, everybody lives. That is where we're gonna cut it for tonight. So, is everyone okay?
Yeah.
I know it was really intense.
That was stressful.
Oh, damn.
That's escape scenes for you.
We cannot turn our backs without someone doing some sort of creepy magic.
You're right.
Seriously.
And with that, thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. Thank you for enduring the intensity. There's still a lot of plot threads now to go through. You have children, including some who are permanently, or at least semi-permanently, scarred from this. And now the Palace of Dorienne is gone. So what does that mean for the government? What does that mean for your country? What does that mean for you? There's a magic ring overhead. What does this mean? Those of you who watch Ashes of Ardor on Nerdarchy may recognize this event that happened at the very start of that campaign, worldwide. So this is not only happening here right now. And yeah, so until next time, everybody, whether it's on the page or at the table, tell your story your way. Bye.